What's up guys, Shoryuken here, back with another video, and right off of the release of Capcom Fighting Collection, it got me thinking, what other collections can Capcom do? What other bundles would you like to see? And this is kind of a brainstorming session where we kind of throw ideas out there and think about the other types of titles that Capcom could put together. And without further ado, let's get into it. But I also do want to mention that if you are a fan of Capcom content and love Capcom games, specifically the fighting games, then think about subscribing and liking. It would be much appreciated. So, as I said earlier, Capcom Fighting Collection has come out. I've been playing it for, 2, 3 weeks, however long I've had it, I've kind of forgotten, but I absolutely love it. I did a review about a week ago on my channel talking about the game, all the cool things about it, and what I think is so awesome about it. But I also did mention there are some flaws, right? Not really many, but there's one big flaw I had with the title, and that is I wish that it was bigger. Yes, I put in the game in, you got some nice goodies, but I wish there were more games to play. I kind of wish this was a one shop all, of Capcom fighters, right? I know we've got the Capcom Stadium collection or pack, and then obviously the other collection games that came out on PS2 and various other consoles. But I would really love if I had a one place, one disc, one area where I can just play every single Capcom fighting game there is out there. As I was circling through the titles from Pocket Fighters to Red Earth to Darkstalkers, I couldn't help but feel like, something's missing, right? I just wish I could go further down and suddenly I see, X-Men versus Street Fighter listed or Alpha 2 or something. And I know X-Men Street Fighter will be tough because of the whole licensing issue with Disney and yada yada. But still, I couldn't help but think I really wish there were more. So it naturally got me thinking, what other titles could Capcom do in the future? Obviously, there is the Versus collection, which we all agree would be a massive hit if it ever got done. But again, you have to deal with Disney and all the licensing issues there, and I doubt Capcom wants to go through those hoops. That's quite a headache. So why not look inside, right? Why not look into your own projects, own games that haven't been released, and try to get those out again? So definitely Capcom Fighting Collection for me was a good start, and something that I've seen a lot even in my comments, and something that I myself have often thought about is why not doing a Capcom 3D collection or Capcom Fighters 3D collection, right? We've got some Capcom 3D games that, were pretty good. Not all of them. Some were meh, but some were pretty good. Well, actually, I'd say more than some. I enjoyed almost all of them except for like maybe one or two. But still pretty good. And a lot of these titles are actually stuck on the consoles they came out on, right? Street Fighter EX, for example. Street Fighter EX 1 and 2 are stuck on PS1, or if you get emulation. EX3 is stuck on PS2. Same thing, unless you have emulation. Rival Schools, same exact thing. Star Gladiator, Techromance. These titles are all pretty much stuck on the consoles they came out for. I know Power Stone was re-released on the PSP as a little collection, but still, outside of that, you couldn't really play it unless you had the original Dreamcast version. So I think this would be a great way to, once again, get newer fans and people who haven't experienced these 3D titles to experience them, right? So in this 3D collection, what would it entail? Well, I've already pretty much went through some of the games, but I'll go through it again. You can have Street Fighter EX1, EX2, and EX3. You can have Star Gladiator, Plasma Sword, which is on the Dreamcast. You can have Rival Schools 1. You could have Rival Schools 1.2 or 1.5, whatever that one on PS1 was considered. And then Project Justice. You then can have Techromancer, which I also know is tough dealing with licensing because they got a lot of like professional and great manga artists to draw pictures on that and voice actors. So I really understand that would be a little tough, but still you got Techromancer as well. You've got, and then Power Stone. Power Stone 1 and Power Stone 2. Now I think that would be a pretty hefty collection. That's not even including, actually I forgot, Final Fight Revenge, right? The Sega Saturn one, the 3D fighter. It's not even including that. So you've got quite a bit there, and you know what? Also, to make it sweeter, I might even take out the EX series and just leave it to just strictly the other Capcom fighting games. Maybe just leave Street Fighter completely out of it, and you can probably make the Street Fighter EX collection into its very own collection, right? You have EX1. You could do the very first one that was in the arcade, and then do EX plus Alpha that came to PlayStation, and then you got same thing with EX2, and then do EX2 plus, and then EX3, which that's about like what 5, 6 games. I know some of them are redundant, but hey, if you did that for Darkstalkers and Capcom Fighting Collection, then why the heck not for Street Fighter? So I think that would be really cool. But yeah, man, it got me thinking that I really want to see some of those games come out. Right? I love Rival Schools and Techromancer. Those were really great. Almost peak Capcom in my opinion, and I had really fun time playing those titles on the Dreamcast. And it just sucks that they are stuck on the Dreamcast. One of my pet peeves about Street Fighter 3 was that those titles were stuck on the Dreamcast, excluding Third Strike, because they re-released that on PS2, Xbox, PS3, But if you wanted to play New Generation or you wanted to play Second Impact, if you didn't have a Dreamcast, you weren't playing those games. That's it. End of story. End of discussion. And so that was actually for me the big selling point as to why I purchased the 30th anniversary collection. I actually wasn't too crazy about it because I already have all those titles and it was just the arcade ROMs, so I wasn't too crazy about it because the music a little different, and I prefer actually the console version of those games. But still, I purchased it because it had those two Street Fighter 3 titles, New Generation and Second Impact, and I really wanted to play those games outside of my Sega Dreamcast. So I thought that was really cool. And so I think the same thing could apply here with this 3D collection. A lot of people have not got a chance to play Power Stone. Haven't got a chance to play Project Justice, or Techromancer, because as we learned, the Dreamcast wasn't exactly firing on all cylinders, right? It wasn't a big hit of a console, so a lot of people didn't get to experience these titles. So why not do a collection of these 3D games and get people a chance, right? Star Gladiator was a series I really wish they bring back. Here's your chance to kind of put it in there, kind of give it a second chance, a second look for people to look at these, especially Rival Schools. Rival Schools is the one. It's the one series, the one franchise out of these games that has the potential to actually make a full-on comeback. Right? It's very close to Street Fighter. It's very, fun, zany, wacky. It's got tag team battles, cool moves, cool specials, just over-the-top action, and not to mention it has a very anime-ish look. And anime is really at an all-time popularity compared to what it was back then when the game came out. So that's a series I think that really has the potential to actually really benefit from a re-release to a broader audience, and therefore maybe just come back. So I think this collection would do that series a lot of good, but just all of them really in general. I think all of them really could benefit from it, and I'm hoping Capcom does it. I'm hoping they do more. As I said, do an EX collection. That'd be great too. As I just mentioned, do this 3D collection. Heck, do an RPG collection. A Breath of Fire collection, right? What happened to the Breath of Fire series? Let's see, Breath of Fire 1, 2, 3, 4. All on one disc. And I would buy all those titles up. As someone who's already have them on PS1, I would buy them again if you told me I can get them all under one roof. So, as I said, that collection just got me thinking. As I was playing it, I really enjoy it, and it just got me feeling like I wanted more, right? I was having withdrawal because I miss these titles, I miss these games, I miss this version of Capcom. Right now they're definitely on a roll and knocking out the park. Will not deny that, but I miss the quirky charm that they used to have with these titles, right? How fun and different they were. Everything now was so polished and neat and perfected, and it's got to be, esports ready. It kind of takes away from the soul and the essence of the game. And playing these games reminded me that, man, they used to be really, really fun and just imaginative, right? They actually took risks and did different things and went outside their comfort zone. So just got me going down nostalgia, and I just want to see more. I want to see more. I want these games to be preserved. I want them to be reintroduced to a broader audience, and also the whole online feature. Giving these titles rollback netcode is huge, because now you can go online and play these games with friends, and then again you're creating new fans, a new audience. So I really think a 3D collection would be perfect. and I'm hoping that some way they can get these titles done. The verses I would like, but we all know again that's not gonna happen or very unlikely. So yeah, go in house, focus on your 3D fighting games. And again, we'll go down the gambit and Star Gladiator, Plasma Sword, Rival Schools, Project Justice, Techromancer, Power Stone. You've got a good 7, 8, 9 games right there, easy. If you're excluding just the EX games, the Street Fighter EX games, you've easily got 8, 9 games. So that's a collection I would love to purchase. And you know what they can even do? This would make me so happy. I might just blow up, but they obviously wouldn't. Remember that canceled Capcom Fighting All Star game they were doing? That 3D Fighting All Star game that Ingrid came from? I would love it if kind of just like, just for fun, for shits and giggles, they're like, you know what? We'll throw that game in there, right? Because I'm pretty sure it was essentially done. I know they were like testing it in locations and all that, so it was never released, of course. But still, if they were testing it in locations, I'm pretty positive like they have a working build of the title. So I would love it if they kind of just threw that in there as well to say, hey, this game that was never released, never played before, you now have access to it in this collection. And that alone would kind of boost up the value, and I think people would want to get it just for that because it's a brand new title that wasn't released. And I liked what I saw from earlier footage. Yeah, it wasn't perfect. Yeah, it was a little janky, but I'm from the era of Star Gladiator, the first one, where it was playing in like 10 frames per second and took you 10 seconds to perform a move. I'm used to that, so I that would really be the chef's kiss, cream of the crop, cherry on top of this whole collection. But what do you guys think? What do you want Capcom to do? Would you like to see more collections done like Capcom Fighting Collection? Do you want to see heck an RPG collection? Do you want to see a 3D fighting collection? Do you want to see a versus fighting collection? Just let me know. Let me know in the comment section below. Again, I love interacting and talking with you guys, and I love these discussion videos because it gets you guys talking. And as I said earlier, if you're new here, this is Shoryuken, where I cover Capcom content, so content from the games, whether also a comic, movie, whatever the case may be. If you're a fan of Capcom games, particular fighting games, we will discuss those here. And then also, if you're not new and you've already been subscribed, I really appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate all the hard work and help. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I want you guys to take care and have a good one.